Now, a live look at the White House, where there's major fallout after President Trump asked Georgia's top election official to, quote, find him more votes. The incident causing a rift in the Republican Party that's already at odds over plans to challenge the counting of Electoral College votes in Congress this week. CBS reporter Natalie Brand at the White House with more for us tonight. Natalie?
Good evening, Alan. And Georgia's Secretary of State's office held a news conference this afternoon to defend the integrity of their election and refute claims mentioned by President Trump on that weekend call with the state's top election official. Some are now asking for a local and federal investigation into that call.
House Democrats are urging the FBI to open a criminal investigation into President Trump's stunning one-hour phone call with Georgia's Secretary of State.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
Mr. President!
A source familiar with the matter tells CBS News the Saturday call was the first time the two parties spoke since Election Day, despite 18 prior attempted calls from the White House.
I didn't feel intimidated. I can stand on my own 2 feet. There's no 12,000 votes out there.
On Fox News Channel, members of the president's party gave mixed reaction.
I didn't hear anything in that tape that the president hasn't already said for weeks now.
This call was not a helpful call.
Congressional Republicans are also split over plans by dozens of GOP lawmakers to object to Wednesday's counting of Electoral College votes.
Ohio Senator Rob Portman is one of the latest Republicans to come out against the plan, saying in a statement, "I cannot support allowing Congress to thwart the will of the voters." The objections are expected to temporarily delay but not overturn certification of the results.
Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States of America, notwithstanding the delusional fantasies of some of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle.
President Trump lashed out at Republicans who have refused to challenge the results on Twitter, calling them the, quote, surrender caucus.
President Trump has also been promoting on Twitter a big protest rally of his supporters on that day, Wednesday. The D.C. National Guard is preparing to activate hundreds of troops to help local police, and the mayor here is urging residents to stay out of downtown that day, Alan.
All right, Natalie Brand, thanks so much for the update.